Ooh. Those are hard notes to hit with an E vowel. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin Burke. I am a singer, songwriter, and vocal coach.
Stay up and we'll dance in the starlight. We don't have to think too far, 'cause I like you.
The beginning is always awkward. Has there ever been a, hi, I'm Justin, welcome to the channel, that wasn't awkward? Leave it in the comments below. I don't think so. Anyway, many of you requested TXT in the comments. Yesterday, you said they have a comeback. They have a new song out, so we are about to react to it. I'm super excited. I have to tell you real quick before we get into it, that if you want to learn how to sing or you want to have an amazing voice, I got your back. I got you. Don't even stress. We will get you an amazing voice. I made you a free lesson. It's 15 minutes. It's on my site down in the description. If you want to run through that, giving you a warning, I might be having you like shake, and I might even have you might need a straw. I hope I didn't just scare you from taking that free lesson. Actually, in that lesson, we don't do anything with a straw, but I have you do other crazy stuff. Anyway, if you have 15 minutes, you should go check that out. It's on my site. When you run through that, you're actually going to see that, like, I'm not just telling you things that you want to hear. This is real. You can improve your voice really fast. And then, of course, whenever you are ready, you can join Singer and we'll be able to meet. I will be able to personally guide you through the entire singing process, because it's just not fun or productive if you're trying to go about this alone. And you will lose motivation because it can be tricky. It's so much better when you have somebody to just guide you through it and just show you how to get on the fast track to having an amazing voice. So anyway, whenever you're ready for that, the link is down in the description. Okay, you ready? Let's get into this. Wait a second. These are the guys that are always like happy-go-lucky. They're growing up. You know they're growing up. You know an artist is growing up when they start. Everything is all good and happy. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, they got a broken heart. Okay, yeah, this person, da-da-da-da. Okay, yeah, you know. Life's, yeah, you get older, you see you see more stuff. That's funny. Good for them though. They did a little EQ fade on the snare drum while dropping the pitch, modulating the pitch down on the whole entire track. Shout out to the producer on this. Ooh. Those are hard notes to hit with an E vowel. Those closed E vowels. Guys, you know what I'm talking about. Girls too. Like, you hit those E vowels up top, you're gonna wanna flip. That takes a lot of coordination to be able to keep that in that mixed voice register, to keep that kind of power. For R&B tracks. Please. I want to hear that. I want to hear that. Oh, that's cool. That's a clean head voice. I love how he's punching those fricatives. The fricatives are the consonants that release like air, f. And the way that he's really punching those kinds of consonants right with the snare drum really tightens up this song and just makes it really punchy on that melody. It's hard to get a good studio vocal. People sometimes always say like, oh, auto-tune this, auto-tune that, or they can't really sing, they can't do this. I'm like, there is so much that goes into a good studio vocal, even beyond just singing on pitch. Phrasing, timing, rhythm. They punched that. This is the best I could do right here. But the way that they punched that choreography. And you all know for certain I am no dancer. You guys know that. You know that your dancing is on point when I'm off the vocals and onto the visuals. Because I'm so not as visually driven. I'm like, give me the vocals, give me the vocals, give me the vocals. Hence why you're watching a vocal coach reaction. But dang, that was good. More. Okay, I'll give you my theory on what this is about. And I'm taking this, honestly, I wasn't paying much attention to lyrics and I didn't have subtitles on. Roast me in the comments, I didn't do it, no! Okay, anyway, I caught it at the end. Friends don't understand me anymore, can you see me? Okay, gotcha. So this whole song was about them feeling like people don't see the real them. Like they don't see the real them. I think that's something that so many of us deal with, and especially artists, because many times, I'll give you a little insight into kind of the industry and how a lot of artists think. Number one, so many of us are very sensitive people, you know, and it affects like the artists, the singers that you follow, like your comments affect them, even if, trust me, because I know a lot of the same artists and the same people who, you know, super popular and they're like, yeah, I don't care about this, I don't care about this. But then when you get them one-on-one, like they care, they care. And as they should, like, you know, giving their blood, sweat, and tears to this for us, those kind of opinions can negatively affect. And then that goes back into feeling like they're unable to show the real them too, especially when artists get to a certain level. It's like they develop almost like an alter ego of their artistry, of their musicianship, and the as they go tour and as they do these things, they kind of have to build a personality that is not actually their personality one-on-one. For many of them, it just isn't, especially these like crazy characters you would think. Now, sometimes there are, and I'm like, you know, dang, like we meet in person, I'm like, oh yeah, you're exactly how you are in front of the camera, but majority of them are not as much. And so it can be very difficult because they start to think that people don't actually see the real them, or they just like them because of the clout or because of the music or who they are, not for who they are portrayed to be, not for who they really are. That's kind of a better way to put it. And it can really mess with a lot of people. And we've seen that over history of different artists in particular, singers in particular, this happening. And so I think our boys in TXT might be feeling the same thing, but it's really prevalent with today's top artists out in LA. Yeah, it's insane. And so that's also why, you know, always remember, always support. There's way too many critics out there. And when I started doing this, I told myself, I'm like, look, I am a coach with this. I'm not a critic. We don't need more critics. Pretty much all the stuff that people criticize is completely subjective in nature too, and not objective. because they aced that objectively. And if anybody has an opinion on it, it's an opinion. It's not an absolute truth. And a lot of people that have cameras comment on things as if they are absolute truths when they're truly just subjective opinion. And I have so many friends in this industry, and I myself am a singer and a performer. And, I mainly do a lot of coaching now, but I still do performing, and I am writing a lot of songs. I love writing songs, but when I was fully performing, and that's like, I was like just a performer touring around, like that affects you when people criticize and don't enjoy it as you wish that they would. And so it's just a reminder to always show love to these artists, because it affects them. They're not on some pedestal. Like they're not accessible. Like they're not affected. Typically they are the most sensitive people, because that's how they're creating this great art. And so, it's a reminder to, put the critiques aside, and I always tell people, like, whenever they're criticizing things, or like on YouTube criticizing things, it's like, before you criticize, try to do it yourself. Like before you criticize them, try to pull that song off with the dancing, with the music video, and then you have room to critique. Otherwise, people have no room to critique. You know what I mean? It's just, and anytime I see that, I'm just shaking my head like, because again, it affects these artists. Like it affects, can't speak English. It affects the artist. So just remember that. You're hearing that from someone who is in the industry. Just know it affects people. So always remember that. All right. Tons of love. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.